Hey bro fans, this is Todd. So we got some brand new Origins figures coming out and they look really cool, and everybody keeps asking me, hey Hebro, Todd, are you going to make a video showing all the cool new figures that we have coming this year? And I thought about it and thought, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and make that video. So that is this video now. So here are the cool new figures for 2023. Alright, so first up we have... Dun, 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 dun. We had this check sheet they showed us. Now I'm just going to show the Origins video now, and later on I might make one for Masterverse as well. But here's the Origins one, and let's go through these figures one at a time, and let's just have some fun going through it. So first off, we got Young King Randor. This Randor is based on the 2000X Randor. He's pretty cool, and if you remember right, I got him from a gift from Matthew. Matthew, thank you again for that figure. It is really cool, and I really enjoy it. And one thing about this figure it's missing is red on his bottom half of his loincloth on there. I've seen someone do it online as a custom. Looks so much cooler to have that red on there. But there we go. There is Young King Randor. Let's take a look at some other pictures. Look at that face. That face. That face. That King Randor face. Alright. And here's some other poses that he comes in. And you can... Oh, it doesn't come in these poses. But you can see you can pose him different ways. And... he's got his cool little staff and some pretty cool stuff. Alright. Maybe I put a few too many pictures in this little presentation. Hopefully it's just the two. Hooray. And there he is. Young King Randor, the first figure they showed on the checklist. Next we have Snake Teela. Now Snake Teela is pretty cool. I like the fact she looks a lot more 2000X-ish. So I noticed... her boots are different than I expected. So take a look at those boots right there. And what's crazy about it is, let me go ahead and get with the other Teela and show you guys. So here we have the first Teela we got released. So this is the new knee version Teela. And look at those boots. They just like regular He-Man type boots. They don't go up a little higher, showing the extra piece on there. And also on her shoulders too, they don't have any little things. And here's the other Teela came with Zor. And same thing, she's got just the regular boots, not the 2000X look, and also her her actual clothes as well doesn't have shoulder pads on it. Look at the bird. Whoop, whoop, whoop. All right, let's go ahead and continue on. So there is the Teela. Notice those new boots. They have that cool design across the top of them where it looks like it's 2000X, and her shoulder pads also. Now what stinks is I was going to buy a couple of these Teelas to take and make my own 2000X Teela. You can swap out the boots, but you can't swap out the tunic she has because of the painting on the neck is going to keep that from happening. So hopefully they release a 2000X proper Teela as well. So we'll have to wait and see and check that out. Alright, let's go ahead and move on to... oh, let's look at some of this stuff in Teela. On the back of Teela, oh, I guess the front first. You can see there, you can put her in some cool poses. And on the back of Teela, they got a spot for her sword. So that's pretty cool too, is now you can put her sword on her back and have that sheathed and ready to go. Teela 2000X Snake version. Then we got a new Eternian Guard, the Infiltrator. And basically it is the Snake version of the Guard. And you can see there he has some cool poses. Let's get a closer look at that head. There's his head. You can see his red snake eyes. Pretty cool about that. So let's take a look at the next one. We got Slamurai. Now Slamurai was a figure they had a concept of years and years ago. One of the last concept figures they made. They re-released him in Classics as a special PowerCon 3-pack. And now they have him in Origins. And what's cool about it, it reminds me of the G.I. Joe... two figures they have, Storm Shadow and oh, how could I forget his name? Snake Eyes. Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes. So I think that's his name. You guys will correct me in the comments, I'm sure. And look at all the cool poses. Oh man, he is cool looking. I cannot wait to get this figure as well. It's one that I'm looking forward to getting. And then we have Snake Armor Man-at-Arms. Now this was released in the 2000X originally. Basically it's just a recoloring of Man-at-Arms. People use the term repaint, but they didn't take the old Man-at-Arms, repaint them, they just recolored them. Basically different color plastic, different color armor. Very cool. And I like his cool piece to capture snakes. Hopefully it actually shoots out and not just in there just loosely. We'll see. And there's some cool poses of him. And I do like the coloring. I'm probably not going to buy this one, but he is really cool, and I think you know, he is a cool update. That's weird though that his shoulder pad is silver, but yet his other parts are still yellow. Interesting, or orange. All right. So then we have Snake Trooper. Snake Trooper! And basically it's a Horde Trooper with a snake head and done in a black motif. Very cool. And of course he explodes like we've seen with the other one. This would be great to even use this to... I wish he came with an alternate head that was just a regular Stormtrooper, a regular Horde Trooper head, but with black. So you could swap it out and make a black Horde Trooper. That'd be cool. Looks like it's time for a custom. Then we have Ssqueeze. Now, Ssqueeze is always a fun figure. I always imagine him like a monkey, whoop, 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 swinging through the trees, you know. And you know, actually, I kind of like the idea. After I saw Spider-Man 2, and they had, oh, how can I forget? Dr. Octopus, and he was using the arms to climb on the side of the building and swing all over. It just made this figure even that much more cooler. Ssqueeze, and of course he's got, you know, different ways he can wrap that snake around his arms, and he can grip onto other figures and big old mammoth hands. Fun, fun, fun. Next we have the 4-pack. Now this 4-pack comes with some really cool snake figures, 2 generic ones, 1 really cool blue one, and then another version of Snake Armor He-Man. Snake Armor He-Man! Let's take a look at these last 2 here. The blue one and the Snake Armor He-Man. These are the ones why I'm going to buy the pack. These are the 2 figures that are so cool looking. And actually that one blue one looks more like a shark. Looks like a hammerhead shark almost, more than a snake man. I might buy him and just make him hammerhead shark man. I mean, he's pretty cool looking. And he has kind of that feature. I know it's supposed to be Cobra Khan with his big old piece going on the back. But he is a really cool figure. So basically they've taken Rat Lore and put Cobra Khan's head on there with it fanned out, and it does look pretty cool. Ooh, look at those. Even a chrome sword. Chrome sword! Yes, awesome figures for sure. Alright, let's go ahead and move on to the next thing that was revealed, and this is the Talon Fighter and Point Dread. This is what I'm looking forward to the most. To put this on my Castle Grayskull, to add to it, to make my Castle Grayskull that much better. Let's take a look at some of the details of this thing. So here it is sitting on Point Dread. And of course the bottom half of that comes off and the top half snaps onto the castle. And then you have some cool extra parts that go with it too, once you get it attached to your Castle Grayskull. There's the inside of the interior. And it looks like it's made to hold 2 figures, one in the front, one in the back. So basically they straddle that piece. Which the original Talon Fighter did the same kind of thing. And lots of tools and stuff on the pictures. And then you have the controls. It looks like the controls can be held by the person in the back. So I'm guessing the person in the back is actually the pilot. And the person in the front is the passenger. And there's the inside of the Point Dread. And you can see this time the computers are actually plastic, not just cardboard cutouts, similar to what we saw with Classics. Now, I was hoping these would come out, we'll see if they will or not, to put inside Castle Grayskull as well. So hopefully those computers come out easily, so you can stick them inside your Castle Grayskull and have that cool extra wall of computers for that upper tower. Alright, and there is the Talon Fighter. Next we have Snake Mountain. Now, my friend Eric is probably going crazy knowing that Snake Mountain is coming out, and it's finally going to get here, and they get the pre-orders coming out next month. And I gotta say, one thing I like about the Snake Mountain is the paint job. This paint job is far superior to what we got originally. When they first showed us the paint job as this pink mess of pink and orange, I thought, what? What are they doing? Why do we have this Snake Mountain? It looks like it's Princess of Power Snake Mountain. It's not Snake Mountain. We need deep dark purple, right? And so I'm glad they went back and repainted it. It looks way cooler now with the repaints. And before I was even tempted, I was like, am I really going to buy this? Am I going to buy a pink cat? If I bought it, I probably would have grabbed some purple paint and made it purple myself. But they finally got it right. It looks way better in purple instead of pink. We don't want a pretty and pink Snake Mountain. Look at the inside of this. This inside is so cool. This cage right here moves from being down below here up to the top, so they can fall into the pit, into the cage, and then you can move the cage down below and have them trapped as your prisoner. The prisoners. And then it looks like we have the pit. Not quite as cool as the Classics pit, but still cooler than we got with the original Snake Mountain. We got a little weapons rack in the back, which is indicative of old weapons racks that we've seen in the past, but not in the toy line release. And then we have the Skeletor throne. And I wonder if this is a trap door like Snake Mountain. Like Castle Grayskull. And if it is a trap door like Castle Grayskull, then Skeletor won't be surprised when he visits Castle Grayskull to see the exact same type of situation going on there, with the throne being able to rotate and drop the person down into the Dungeon of Doom. So there is Snake Mountain. Pretty impressive, pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about that. So let's go and continue on. Next we have the Rulers of the Sun pack, 3-pack. Now I have to admit, I was a huge fan of Sunman. I liked Sunman back a long time when I first learned about it in the 90s. I went and got a figure originally, and I had it, and Yell Easton was just such cool for what she did. But I'm sorry. It's waning. I'm getting enough of Sunman, and they keep using the exact same loincloth, the exact same wristbands, the exact same boots. Many of the same heads, too, are also being reused over and over. I know the original toy line was that way, but I kind of want to see a little bit more diversity in the figures besides just the skin tone. I want new heads. I want new boots. I want new loincloths and new wrist guards. But I mean, I know it's a throwback to the 80s toy, and yeah, she was a small company and had to do it that way, but Mattel, you're a big company and you don't have to do it that way. Anyway, they are cool. I don't know if I want to buy them or not. I'm still debating, but we'll see. Maybe I will, just because I love the Sunman line, but I love the idea of it. All right, there's some cool poses of them. They do look pretty cool, I have to admit. And I suppose once you put their stuff on, it does change them a little bit. Like you can see different figures, different parts to cover up their standard wristbands and stuff and headpieces. Dun da da! The Rulers of the Sun! Spikor! Now I'm excited about Spikor for one reason. I know it sounds funny. His boots. The brown boots work awesome for making great customs. I know, how bad is that? Usually I give Spikor black boots. So I'm probably going to try to swap out his boots to black ones. I think black fits him better. His furry shorts are black. I never knew why they use brown boots, but the brown boots work awesome for making some cool 2000X customs. So he will be used for his boots for my custom figures. And just like with Classics, we had the arm swap out as opposed to moving in and out. And you can see there how it looks with the arm. Dun, 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 and his spiky head. And his spiky armor. And his spiky mace that he goes to pound people with all his spikes. On to Snakeface. Now, Snakeface, if you don't know, he's basically like Medusa. His things come out, psh, and they come out, they turn people into stone. So you can see there's Snakeface there. And there he is from the back. He's a pretty cool figure. I never was a huge fan of Snakeface. I thought he looked just a little bit too creepy, scary for kids. But then again, that's what we want, right? I mean, when we were a kid, you wanted creepy, scary stuff. I think they did a better job making him now than they did in the 80s. I like the way he looks better now than the 80s version of him. Now, his snakes don't like to come out of his chest. Maybe they do. Maybe they do fold out. We'll have to see if his snakes come out and fold out in front or not. Looks like there may be a spot for it to fold out. We'll see. And his snakes that come out of his eyes and his back and his tongue, those are a separate head. They don't actually pop out like they used to. The popping out feature was a really fun feature they had in the original 80s toy and made it kind of a surprise for the kids. You push the button and all the snakes come out. And so they did lose that cool surprise attack with just the head swap. But that's okay. It's still cool, and I'm definitely going to get that. On to Dragon Blast Skeletor. What? What? They made the dragon squirt. What about Cobra Khan? It's so unfair to Cobra Khan. So that's cool. The dragon squirts in this one. The Skeletor doesn't look that much different. There's not a lot to talk about here except for the fire-breathing dragon. And of course, you know me. I'm going to fill it full of alcohol. I'm going to flame this thing up. And we are going to have flames shooting out of that dragon's mouth. Because that's what it's supposed to be. Not some little mist of, acid, whatever. Flames. It's going to be fun. I'm going to have to get 2 of these because I'm sure one will get singed pretty bad. And you guys will have fun seeing the mayhem of the flaming Dragon Blaster Skeletor. Alright, next we got Skeletor and Screech 2-pack. I'm excited about this one. Ever since I was a kid and I had my own Screech, I always wanted to put Screech on Skeletor's arm. How cool is that actually fits on there? I tried many times with the arm being always bent slightly. It was kind of hard to get it fitted on there to work just right. But now you can do it, and that's going to be so cool. I'm surprised it wasn't released with an evil Lyn, but that's okay. This Skeletor's got some cool features. They gave him fangs. Fang face Skeletor. And that's pretty cool. I think it's what they were going for originally when they made the first Skeletor we got with the open mouth. But they did it so much better in this one. I'm not sure I'm liking the new color scheme they have, but the new fangs added to the face, way cool. And being able to put the bird actually on his arm, that rocks. I'm really excited about this one. Look at those fangs. It looks almost like he's a snake instead of a Skeletor guy. And then it shows a clothed mouth. Oh, no way. Is his jaw articulated? You know what? Maybe those aren't fangs. I'm looking now at him. I think it's actually yellow paint in the background. And it looks like his jaw might be articulated. I thought it came with 2 heads, but looking at the little creases on the side, I think his jaw is actually articulated. Yeah, it is. Look, you can see under his chin in the second picture, there's a space where his jaw closed up. So this is an articulated skull head. Yes. That's so cool. All right. Now on to the Skeleton Warrior 2-pack. Now, this pack is cool. I just wish they made these for classics. They're too short for classics. But notice their armor motifs are different. We got a silver one and a purple one. And they glow in the dark. Yes. Yes, Mattel. Finally, you got something totally right with these guys. They glow in the dark. They look different from each other. It's not 2 of the same figure. These are going to be a fun way to build up your armies for when Skeletor attacks. Manny Faces mini comic. Finally, they did Manny Faces in the right color. I'm not sure what's going on with his hands, though. Why the heck does he have lines across the back of his skin-toned hands? I'm probably going to have to swap those out. Hopefully the blues are the same color as the other Manny Faces, but I do like how this looks. Hopefully it's not so shiny in the final release. Hopefully it's more matte looking. But I like his expressions he has on his face. They are pretty cool. There's his back. I like that his tubes actually go into his helmet and not his chest. There's his monster face. Monster Manny! Yeah, the skin tone is just right. There is his robot face that looks almost like a skull. It's kind of crazy how skull-like it is. Let's look at all 3 faces together. Okay, bring the 3rd face down. Whoop. Okay, bring it down. There we go. Look at that. Those are the Manny Faces of Manny Faces. And I actually used to call him Manny all the time. Manny! So there he is. Manny Faces. Alright, next we have our flocked Mossman. Mossman! And they gave us some cool stuff. They gave us an alternate head. They gave us armor. They gave us some cool new weapons. He has a mace on a ball, or a ball mace now. He can whip around and cause some damage. And there's his alternate head, which of course is the Beastman head we saw from Lords of Power. So, very cool. What's weird is his alternate head is not flocked. I'm okay with that though. I can live with the difference between the flocked and the non-flocked. But still, that is pretty cool. I'm excited about this figure. I like the throwback of putting the yellow armor in there from the old weapons pack we saw way back in the 80s. That's kind of cool. Now, originally I always stuck it on Beastman and made, actually no, I take that back. I used to put it on Webstore. I put the yellow armor on Webstore and call him Beastmaster, And he was my special Beastmaster character, because the yellow and blue looked really cool together. Alright, well that is all that I have. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next video. Good journey.
If you found it enjoyment